in an effort to get to know the people better that who have made our organization what it is. We are interviewing current staff and contractors. And today I'm meeting with
Dan Sloan.
Dan. What do you do and how long have you been here?
I am at this point a part-time contractor, and I've been doing that for just about 2 years now. But before that, I was full-time with Fund for about 10 years,
Wow. Okay.
starting out as an intern and then becoming an associate consultant, a consultant,
Right.
eventually a senior consultant.
Right.
And yeah, so I've done, I guess, most of the kinds of work that we do at Fund in that time. And these days, I mostly am helping out, sort of just helping out the team in whatever ways I can be useful.
Mhm.
Since I've been around a while, answering
Yeah.
questions,
Yeah.
giving a second set of eyes to projects and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, that's great that you started as an intern. And I think there's a company joke that at some point you had said you were going to be here about a year, and now it's been how many years?
Yeah, no
It's
kidding. It's been like 12 years.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I started out, I was just probably a year out of college, and I was new altogether to the CDFI world. I think I had just sort of stumbled across the internship listing. Um, I don't even know where, but I saw community development and I was like, that sounds cool. I
Yeah.
didn't know much more about it than that.
Okay.
Um, but at that point, I was thinking maybe I would go back to school, or I wasn't. So I didn't expect to stick around, but like
Right.
you said, I
But here
definitely
you
have.
are. Yeah. And well, what has surprised you the most about working in the CDFI industry?
I think at first, um, it seemed it seems huge to me. And I guess, it is large and it's been growing so much over the past 10 years, but like going to like OFN, you see how kind of tight knit it is despite that. And you see the same faces every year and people, are really kind of supportive of each other.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be, even though it's large and growing, there's still kind of like a community type feel in the industry,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah. So a large industry with a family feel almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any favorite memories of working here?
I was thinking back when everyone was in Chicago and we would have holiday parties and stuff. That was always so much fun.
Mhm.
I remember going bowling with everybody's partners and
Oh,
um, just getting dinner, partners and kids around. That was always a blast.
right. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like that was fun. Now everything is so remote, so I'm sure it's just a different feel now.
It is. And I think that, it's taken time for everybody to adjust to the Zoom world. And I think that, especially with, at your direction, Fund has done a lot to get everybody kind of, feeling some community over the internet still.
Hmm.
But it
Yeah,
was it's a different thing, I think, when everybody can be in the same room, and that's always nice.
definitely, definitely. Yeah, always the challenge. So, all right. Well, what would you say that this might be a hard question, but is there like a shared characteristic of what we call fundies, the staff at Fund Consulting, like anything that you think everyone shares, like a shared quality?
Yeah, I think that people who work here tend to be very, I guess, like dedicated, to our clients and the work that they do, and really just kind of like enthusiastic about trying to help them do that work. I think that
Yeah,
people also tend to be very organized and detail oriented,
yeah,
just because
yeah,
of the nature of what we do and the million things to try and keep track of. And
right.
on those pieces, I wish I were better sometimes, but I think working here has made me a lot better.
Right. Had kind of had to, right? Trial by
Yeah,
fire.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Who do you think has inspired you the most at work?
You know, it's really hard to pick just one. I think over the years, um, so many wonderful people have worked here at Fund, and not to mention the all the clients getting to see what they do.
Hmm.
And obviously, Ruth and Lolita have been, um, really helpful to me, not just like as bosses, but personally over the years, working with me, making the situation work even now that I'm back in school and working part time.
Hmm.
So that's always
Yeah.
I've really been grateful to them for that. But that's kind of a vague answer, but it's hard to pick
Yeah.
just
No,
one, I
that
guess.
works. That works. Yeah. It's a hard question. You don't really want to single anybody out necessarily, but that was a good answer. Um, so do you remember your first day as an intern? What was that like?
I do, I do. I was very nervous. I hadn't, well, I guess I'd done some kind of office work before. But I felt very young.
Mm,
Um, and I think that, well, I probably spent a lot of it talking with Manjima and just kind of getting settled, um, and trying to start making sense of CDFI world. Like I said, I knew almost
right.
nothing at that point. So I think I was probably like reading guidance. I think I probably spent the first week like reading the certification
Yeah.
guidance or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Well, you have learned a lot and come a long way. So I just have one final question.
Yeah.
What do you hope never changes about fund consulting?
I think it is, what I kind of alluded to a moment ago, that like flexibility, um, or like dedication to making it work that Ruth and Lolita have shown to me. But back before um, COVID and before we went fully remote, like I mentioned, we were all in Chicago, and back then for my partner's work was moving to LA. And they were willing to make that work
Yeah. Yeah.
when most everybody was still in the office. So, at that point I was grateful. And then, more recently when I decided to go back to school, they were willing to work something out where I could still stay involved. And so been very happy that, through the various life changes, been able to stick around here. And I think, I
Yeah.
don't think that would change, but I hope it doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. So the flexibility. Okay. Well, I really appreciate you taking a couple minutes to talk with me, Dan. It was good to get to know you more, and I hope that we continue to have a long relationship together with at Fund Consulting.
Thanks, Mary. Me too.